Right now I'm still homeless, but we're gonna hopefully start, keep getting into what we need to do about fixing these situations. But it'd probably save my life more than enough oil for my body anyway. Um, I think the next move I'm about to do is go to the supermarket and check things out there. I probably was stupid. I said, you know what? Let me try it. And I've been trying to convince myself not to eat more outwards because I know they do this all the time. It's not that I have a dumb problem of figuring out what people do to your food. It's more or less you're used to doing it. Even if you've been a TI for like 7+ years, 8, 9 years, you like as a kid and you grow up and you automatically know what's there. You know, uh, have like bread. As you can see, it's bread there, and there's some water. But what I basically think, a lot of the people that they target like this, the way our program is, it's more or less like this because not the point that we just don't have enough money. It's more we don't have enough resources. Money and resources is different. Money gets resources, which gets power. You understand what I mean? Uh, Especially if you're always by yourself. But I tried. I've done this before. I could have gave the pizza away to the ladies right there, but I didn't. It's not something that's in your head. It's more or less something that you actually do see. Like, especially when somebody acts like they're doing something, it's gonna make you suspicious, regardless if they're playing around or joking. And then the next time you're sick, and you're like, well, what the hell happened? Yeah, you know what happened. Cause like now I'm going through irritable bowel syndrome. So basically irritable bowel syndrome, like your gut is messed up. Like you can't eat much stuff. It's like having diabetes, but as in eating wise, you gotta eat high fiber and a lot of fruits and vegetables. Not good. That's not a bad thing. Honestly, I ate a whole bag of apples my first day I was homeless. So I'm back in Wilkinsburg for a little bit. Now they tell me, this is part two, matter of fact. They tell me from the situation when I went live that I don't have to leave until Tuesday, but didn't say nothing the same 2 days ago. When you deal with murderers and killers, I call them murderers and killers because they have no value for life itself. They have no value in life. I was looking at a message on the screen. My fault. They have no value in life, besides their own. And then you come to think about why the elite is really doing stuff like this into our water and you know chemtrails and a whole bunch of stuff, for why so many homeless and why people are dying, because the human life has lost value, as in more of the way they see us. Doesn't mean we really have lost value how the way other people basically see us, the lesser percent of the population. And then if you really walk around, you can honestly kind of see it's not that their people are bad people. 100%. Murder. You can be a murderer and still not be a crazy, like you just 100% evil. They're just broken, more or less. Like they're broken in the head. Does not mean they're crazy. Just it's not a good enough excuse, but it's definitely bad. Uh, with this situation, I'm losing track right now. With this situation, when I was talking about, like when you see people, you can see how they act and whatever, and they do certain things. You could like, and it's either it's not their fault or not. Usually, it feels like it's more of a choice than anything. It's like whatever's out there in the world is sending out good vibes or bad vibes. What I mean by that, by signals, it's either sending out negative or positive. And if sending out both frequencies at the same time, the negative people that got more negative in them is coming more to the surface. If they're good, they're coming more to the good vibes are coming more to their surface, which I'm assuming, which which I can assume. Yeah, it seems like they're not all terrible. They do help. They act like regular people, but you can tell it's just don't really know. Well, at the end of the day, they probably saved my life from eating oil anyway. Um, they and another way is they want you to confront them. Like, yo, did you spit in my food? Did you? They want you to confront them. They want you to constantly do you gotta be repetitious with it. Constantly do it over and over and over. I've done certain things before. I like confronted people, and it seems like you just keep going in a circle. You just keep going in a way. It seems like you just keep going in a circle. It doesn't feel like you get anywhere. But then they say, you should put paperwork in, file police reports and stuff. But when we file police reports, right, it's going in a pyramid scheme. Yeah, if you start from the bottom, you keep working up just like if you was at a job. Keep standing a couple of times a year, a couple of years, then you become a manager, assistant manager. It seemed like the same process. That's what the police don't actually realize, that because they so far on their own asses and their own boss asses into the money situation, that money is more valuable than a human life. When you take an oath to protect life, you put when they put that oath to protect people, but then kill people, it's another situation where it's more of an ignorant and forgetting what you really signed up for. Why put on a badge for 25 to 50, whatever, how much they get a year? Some states they pay differently for like 30,000 to 40,000 a year. And if you not even really want to do your job, it really doesn't make sense. Just like a fireman. Why go into a burning building if you don't care about saving somebody's life? You know what I mean? And it's not the point that police would, authorities, let me stop saying police, authority figures are doing their jobs. And this girl I don't know. Sorry, I got sidetracked, man. It, you can see when neighborhoods and like, I'm 24. I'm about to be 25 this year. I'm not new to this situation. It's been like 8 or 9 years. But the more you see and hear, and you'll see people that ignore it, you'll see people that they just not right at all. They'll laugh, they'll try to do something to egg you on. It's as if they either want you to die, go to jail, prison, anything bad that they can get out of you. It's like they're absorbing the negative energy from you. People don't realize the earth is on frequencies. It's more of an energy. Frequencies, waves that go through the air. Sound is more of a energy. It goes into an energy wave. You understand me? People that don't understand that, they're not going to school to understand that, or actually, learning those type of situations. When they get that energy wave, it's more or less, it's like they're trying to fill us TIs with negative energy, right? And then absorbing it outwards, because we absorb out, we grow, we absorb our energy excretes out of our being, excretes, if that makes sense. And it goes into the air. It's like they're trying to fill us up to fill the negative void. A lot of people don't realize we're in a negative zone. It's a reason why they say go into the light. The sun is all light. It's no negative. It's no really dark in there. Just light. Um, we are basically in a 666 zone. 666, yeah. Six of the mind, six of the body, six of the heart. You understand what I'm saying? That means more of a sex type of thing, more of an animalistic, more of a just, trying to be right and we're not. It's more like it's more of a just opposite zone. 666. They say they made us believe like a representation of the devil, which you would call that negative energy. But if you really think about it, 666, you got to do like a 369. You have to really put your math into it with your scientific facts, with your Bible, with your God, given rights that God has blessed us with. You have to stop seeing things as in, if you run from the negative and you're living in a negative zone, you just cannot see it. Just because the sky is blue doesn't mean dark ain't, ain't above it. You understand what I'm saying? Doesn't mean it's not around. The negative energy that we're putting off could be causing the earth to shift. The earth has recently started shifting. When you guys think about the earth, in the Mayans calendar, and you would participate and think like, well, that the Mayans lied to us. You think people that had sophisticated knowledge and power, and especially way back in the pyramid days, you think they're lying? Or more of fact, I'm not going to say lying, I'm going to say, do you think they're fooling you? What I would go as, they had way more simpler and advanced technology than we could ever conceive. They've already done the things that we've basically done, just a different way, maybe a simpler way. It just doesn't look like it. A lot of things are with energy. You have to know these energies, and you cannot play around. People get angry. Look at our lives when we live this pyramid scheme, right? We go up and down the ladder. We keep falling, we keep going back up. What do they say about the world? If you get down, you got to get back up. When you get down, you absorb and push out more of an energy and negative energy light. When you put out a negative energy light, you will you don't change, but you do change. You become lesser than yourself. It is yourself. You know how they say you have the body of the beast. If you live in the body of the beast, but with the spirit of Christ, you cannot say that you don't have negative or positive in you. Consider yourself a battery, but you can give off and you can take in. You're all rechargeable. Each and every one of you are rechargeable. Those signals in the sky, those satellites, those goddamn sound wave bouncers, those tuning frequencies, you see them, they're huge. Those tuners out there, what you think those are for? You think those ain't beaming off your dome? They're beaming off right off of you. You can't see it because you're in a human mindset. Mindset is not more or less your fault. It is your fault because you're not grasping the knowledge, but because your life isn't in danger or in a fair fright or of damnation, you're not looking for change. You're looking for aggressive, catastrophic doom. What else you want to say? You going in the same place to get the same mansion. That's what you want. The same cars, the same whatever. But at the end of the day, people are like screaming and hollering of pain. So what would you say? What would you call that? You would call it doom. Because the people that see do not see, and the people that don't want to see, they keep working to get up and keep going. When you keep going and not stopping to see anybody else, you're going to kick that person down because you can't see anybody under your ladder. So if he's trying to pass you, you're going to eventually step on his fingers and he's going to fall. So if you think about it, you cannot keep going. The person under you cannot keep going. But see, right now, if I focus on these people, right? If I focus on them, they'll try to avoid me, uh, manipulate me, a whole bunch of stuff. But, continuation of this same pyramid scheme, we're not going much further. We're going down the same path. Why do you think they're not here? The more of the elite, or why do you think you don't see them much, or see or see people walking around and you're like, you see them, but you're not around them. I'm talking about the majority. See them waving their hands like the president and saying, "Hey guys, I'm over here in your neighborhood." You know, you might see a couple of them, maybe if you know of them. You get, and then if you look at the common man is in default. Not realizing because their brain is so vast, but they're programmed in one direction. If that makes sense. If you're one direction mind, then you can't go back or forward. You're losing your value of your own self and integrity. So if you have no integrity or own self-awareness of understanding what is and what cannot be stopped and what may won't just won't move, you just won't move at all. You're just blocked in. But you can't see that because it's invisible to the naked eye. Most people should I'm not going to say they're not awake. They know of these things, but without a unified thought process of, being one, the same people that made my pizza came out. They were sitting there. They was like, "What is he doing?" Cause I said about the pizza, about the pizza, is trying to figure out what the hell. Who knows, man? Feeling my belly's feeling a little upset right now. Anyway, and you ask, a regular person would go inside and say, "Well, what'd you do to my food?" And then you would say, "Well, if I'm a targeted person, what would you say? Would you really say, would you really say, would you really go in and say like such and such, and would they really give you a guaranteed answer? And then would you really say, is there any proof? Then would you really say, well, no, it isn't. I can't see anything. Well, how do you know I did it? It's more or less, regardless if you videotaped it, it's your he say, she say. As long as you stay in a he say, she say mind frame as a TI or targeted person, you're going through the same pyramid scheme, the same lies, the same upset. You want to call it an upset stomach because it gives you a foul feeling in your stomach that something's incomplete that you didn't really get to finish, as in food or arguing with somebody, and you know how you ever had that feeling where something's unfinished, not finishing all your bills and stuff. But life is so grateful. Life in general, not the people, the life that we live. Cars, women, clothes. Not saying they're materialized, but it's just a factor now of the knowledge of the beauty of life. It's temptation. They got everything is whatever you want to call it. That's all, man. I'll continue to get back up with you guys.